pipeline politics dominate the national stage.
This game playing, right? They've created a motion where voting yes makes a pipeline less likely and voting no makes a pipeline less likely.
A Conservative motion that mirrors Ottawa and Alberta's pipeline agreement is voted down in the House of Commons. Plus, hateful and racist messages are showing up in Brooks.
We've had now a total of 9 different reports.
Community rallies behind those targeted. And a blood drive in honor of a young Calgary woman gone too soon.
You're actually allowing people like my daughter to live for that extra month.
The push to donate heading into the holidays.
CTV Calgary, local breaking news with Terry Fikowski.
Good evening. Political theater gripped the House of Commons today. A Conservative motion was voted down, which directly quoted some of Ottawa and Alberta's Memorandum of Understanding on a pipeline to the BC coast. While some call it a stunt, others believe it was an attempt to find a fractured Liberal caucus. With more, here's Tyson Fedor.
I declare the amendment defeated.
Having a vote here.
The Liberal government, with the help from the NDP and Bloc Québécois, soundly defeated a non-binding Conservative motion on Ottawa's energy agreement with Alberta. The symbolic vote was meant to echo the deal Mark Carney signed with Danielle Smith.
It's not just the pipeline. It's not just pathways. It is a price on industrial price on carbon that goes to $130 effective.
But a price on carbon was directly left out of the motion, even though Pierre Poilievre amended it Tuesday to include engagement with BC, private funding, and First Nation ownership.
Not only do we acknowledge the obligation to consult with our First Peoples, we put that right in the motion. It's right there. It's right there, Mark.
But political watchers say the vote was political theater staged by the Conservatives to show cracks within the Liberal caucus.
The public argument is not, oh, we're trying to split the Liberal Party. He goes, we want the Liberals to officially go on the record that they support this MOU. Well, the Prime Minister already signed it.
This game playing, right? They've created a motion where voting yes makes a pipeline less likely and voting no makes a pipeline less likely. So I really wonder how much Pierre Poilievre wants a pipeline.
Alberta's Premier remains committed with the Prime Minister to implement the MOU.
I wouldn't take whatever outcome there is as any indication other than some politics that are happening.
Some First Nations groups on BC's North Coast are opposed to a modified tanker moratorium, rejecting any Alberta bitumen to its shores.
We've never supported the pipelines or the tanker traffic, and they're not part of our vision for a healthy, sustainable, economically diverse economy.
However, others are fully on board with the MOU and want shovels in the ground.
It's going to be a long-term benefit for First Nation communities. It's going to be 30-year agreements. It's going to be ownership. It's going to be seats on the board of the pipeline. It's going to be monitoring. So we've got to get our people to work.
Tyson Fedor, CTV News, Calgary.
The province still needs to find a private proponent to fund the project. Alberta has until July 1st to meet the application deadline. Independent MLA Peter Guthrie says he's taken over as leader of the Alberta Party. This summer, Guthrie and fellow former UCP MLA Scott Sinclair announced their intentions to join the Alberta Party and rebrand as the Progressive Conservatives. Premier Smith and the UCP have pushed back against the Alberta Party's planned reboot. It was slowed down with the introduction of Bill 14, which, if passed, would restrict names that political parties can use here in Alberta. Guthrie's announcement comes just days ahead of the projected end of the fall sitting. Well, Mounties continue to investigate a serious crash near High River this afternoon. It happened around 2:30 on Highway 2 south of Highway 23. 3 separate vehicles were on scene when emergency vehicles arrived. One was rolled and heavily damaged in the ditch. A tow truck also on scene appeared to have damage to its trailer. The southbound lane of Highway 2 was shut down for several hours as RCMP investigated but has since reopened. No word on injuries. In Brooks, RCMP are investigating racist graffiti that has been popping up around the city. There's been 9 reported cases since October 1st. With more, here's Quinn Keenan.
Several different locations across Brooks have been tagged with white supremacist vandalism. The JBS Recreation Center, parks, and other city-owned infrastructure were all vandalized. Stickers promoting the White Lives Matter movement have also been seen on City Hall. Brooks RCMP are taking the matter seriously.
We've had now a total of 9 different reports of racist slurs and photos and stickers being put up around town in public places. So some have been spray painted located in one of our water parks that is currently out of use for the fall.
Brooks has seen sporadic vandalism like this over the past several years, but nothing this concentrated. Officers say they are disappointed to see this sort of activity in their community.
Personally, it's very difficult to see it because I know a lot of these individuals who are here working in our community to make our community a better place and make it home for their own families. What a slap in the face to them.
City crews have done their best to cover up the hateful messages, but some remnants of the graffiti are still visible, becoming a hassle for some to deal with the cleanup.
What we would recommend to people is to get in touch with our Public Works Department so that they can get in touch with the RCMP whenever any of these items are put up around the city of Brooks.
Brooks is often said to be one of the most diverse cities in Canada, with more than 100 languages spoken by its 15,000 residents. The city says it feels this behavior doesn't represent the vast majority of residents.
Brooks is a fantastic community. We're a very welcoming and inclusive community. We've got a lot of different nationalities represented within the city of Brooks, and I believe there was probably about 70 countries represented.
Brooks RCMP are asking anyone with information on who's behind the vandalism to come forward. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Brooks.
Meantime, RCMP say a Lloydminster man made credible threats towards identifiable groups of people. Police searched the 38-year-old's home and seized multiple guns and hate items, including a Nazi flag. He has been charged with illegal possession and unsafe storage of guns, as well as willful promotion of hatred. Now to the latest in the Air Transat labor dispute. The pilots union says a tentative agreement has been reached. Pilots were scheduled to go on strike overnight, but now a ratification vote on the deal will be held in the coming days. In anticipation of a strike, the airline has been canceling flights affecting thousands of travelers. The Airline Pilots Association says the agreement delivers a modern contract for its 750 members, adding it includes significant pay hikes. Air Transat does not fly directly out of Calgary. And the Calgary International Airport is heading into its busy season, but YYC is hoping this year is a lot easier for travelers. A new centralized security area is opening in the domestic terminal just in time for the Christmas rush. Jordan Canigan has more on the preparation and travel tips to help you get in the air.
It's quiet now, but the holiday travel surge is coming to the Calgary airport. YYC is ready to welcome 1.5 million travelers this month.
December will have an average around 48,000, but during those peak days we'll get to 60 or 65,000 passengers coming through our doors every day.
December 15th, 19th, and 20th are expected to be the busiest. Just in time, a new centralized screening area is opening Wednesday.
The opening of those 7 lanes represents almost a 40% improvement in capacity versus what is there today, and for the travelers offers a much simpler traveler experience.
The $50 million project brings the same technology to the domestic terminal already being used on the international side.
Liquids, aerosols, gels, 100 milliliters or less each. Medical devices and large electronics, such as laptops, can remain in the carry-on baggage during your screening.
It'll mean a faster and smoother security lineup, but a reminder of some common prohibited items: large knives, sharp tools, and yes, even snow globes over 100 milliliters still are not allowed. Border agents are also expected to be busy for those coming and going from Canada.
Here in Alberta, CBSA officers made more than 1,100 illegal narcotic seizures, including several significant seizures right here at the Calgary International Airport.
Jordan Canigan, CTV News, Calgary.
Let's bring in Danielle for our first look at the forecast, who's on location tonight, staying nice and warm, Danielle, because it got pretty chilly fast today.
Yeah, that was a fast plummet. You know what? We were at 5 degrees, plus 5 degrees at 1 in the afternoon. And then by 6 p.m., we were at -11. That's a huge cool down really fast. So a lot of things that had melted throughout the day froze out there. Careful on sidewalks, careful on the roads, because it will be slick. We also had some freezing fog, and that's continuing over these next couple of hours. Tomorrow is a different story. In fact, temperatures are going to warm early in the morning. So we'll be back up to -4 by 8 a.m. with a wind chill of -8, and in the afternoon, +4. This comes at a bit of a price. It'll be a little gusty, gusts up to 50 kilometers per hour. Your full forecast, your full very cold forecast is coming up.
Okay, thanks, Danielle. If money is tight over the holidays, consider giving something you already have. A Calgary mom says you can donate blood and give the gift of life for people like her daughter who passed away last year. Alicia Fieldberg has her story.
A lot of her friends say that she was their best friend.
Manal Mullen had a magnetic personality and big laugh, but most people didn't know she lived with a medical condition called thalassemia, which meant she relied on blood donors every 3 to 5 weeks.
Thanks to everybody out there. She went through 300 transfusions in her life, and she lived an amazing life.
Manal graduated high school and was about to start psychology at University of Calgary. Then she had a bone marrow transplant to cure her condition, but died of complications less than a month after turning 18. Now her mom coordinates a blood drive on Manal's birthday. December 30th is also a time of great need.
It's a really difficult time for us, especially between the last week of December and going into the first week of January. We have about 2,400 open appointments that we need to fill.
If you're over the age of 17 and meet the minimum weight requirements, you can donate blood several times a year and plasma every week.
It takes about an hour of your time to save someone's life.
You're actually allowing people like my daughter to live for that extra month.
69 people donated at the first blood drive held in Manal's honor. This time, her mom hopes for 100.
You guys have no idea how much it means to me, to my daughter, to other families.
Alicia Fieldberg, CTV News, Calgary.
Still ahead, a Calgary-to-Banff passenger train is rolling closer into reality. The group behind the project is now asking the federal government for streamlined support.
You're watching CTV News, Calgary.
An effort to ban foreign flags from flying at City Hall will head back to council next week. The mayor says the raising of some flags has caused protests, demonstrations, and safety concerns. A motion was originally brought last month after the Palestinian flag was raised at Calgary City Hall for the first time ever. But councillors voted down the motion, arguing more time was needed to consult with community members. The motion will go to council on Monday. The southeast portion of Calgary's Green Line is well underway. 5 construction projects started in the summer that run from Victoria Park to Shepherd. The southeast portion will run for 16 kilometers with 10 stations, 2 bridges, and a storage facility. To date, $1.6 billion has been spent on the project, with phase 1 budgeted at $6.2 billion. Engagement and major planning on the elevated line downtown will start in January.
So there's work right now around the Crossroads Market and the bridge over Blackfoot Trail and LRT bridge there. There's work currently, there's 2 sites actually in the communities of Ogden and Linwood-Milliken around those areas. So they will see construction.
A full report on the downtown, including a better idea of cost estimates, won't be ready until the end of next year. The southeast leg is expected to be open to the public in 2031. A long-anticipated Calgary-to-Banff rail project could be closer to reality than ever before. The project's proponents have submitted the line to Ottawa's Major Projects Office in hopes of getting a fast-tracked approval. There are still hurdles, but as Tim Brook explains, those in favor hope it's full steam ahead.
After a decade of planning and lobbying, the group trying to push forward a hydrogen-powered passenger train from Calgary to Banff says it's now ready for the next step, and it wants Ottawa's help.
To have them back us and support us and even guide us through this next kind of 2-year phase, we feel would be very important to getting this train over the finish line.
Last week, the group submitted its rail proposal to Canada's Major Projects Office. The federal body can speed up projects in the national interest through streamlined approvals and funding.
We really want this to be a functional train that gets people to work, but also serves the tourism economy.
The idea is to have a line that runs alongside the existing CPKC rail corridor. All $1.5 billion would be paid by the proponents, but there is a catch.
The province builds their train from the airport to downtown Calgary and gives us access to 3 trains per hour.
The project will only go ahead if another line is built running from the airport to downtown Calgary. The province says it welcomes the idea, but it won't invest until it ensures the project provides real, measurable value for Albertans. The city is definitely on board.
I'm encouraged to see the most recent submission. Obviously, the devil's in the details. We'll see to what level the province is interested in stepping up.
Travelers also like the idea. This group from Atlanta says their preference would be to skip the icy Highway 1 trek they've planned.
We've also been to Europe before, and that is very handy.
It'd just be nice to hop in there and not have to worry about focusing on the road if I was driving. And I feel like the train would have a very scenic route.
Still, conservationists have concerns specifically around visitor volume and important wildlife corridors in the area.
This isn't the kind of project that we should be fast tracking. We should be taking our time doing the proper studies and making sure it really is the best option.
The developers say they'd love to consult with opponents to figure out a plan that works for everyone. They're convinced with federal help, the train could be making trips as soon as 2030. Tim Brook, CTV News, Calgary.
Banff Council took a step forward today in its plans to reduce the number of elk being struck and killed by trains in town. Elk train collisions are high on a stretch of line adjacent to commercial properties along Eagle Crescent within the town boundary. According to Parks Canada, 42 elk have been killed along the 2-kilometer stretch between 2004 and 2025. Council is now considering thinning vegetation to create clearer sight lines for elk as trains approach. But officials say there would be some additional benefits from the work.
So the area proposed to be thinned is primarily a coniferous forest, one that is most likely to burn in the event of a wildfire. And so one of the benefits of this project would actually be to reduce the fuel load around our industrial district of Banff and reduce fire risk to those properties.
Today, Council voted in favor of the project moving ahead, contingent on a funding collaboration with Parks Canada. The project would cost $20,000 every 5 years starting in 2027. We have reached out to Parks Canada for comment, but have not yet heard back. Immigrant Services Calgary hosting an event tonight aimed at helping newcomers navigate the healthcare system.
Newcomers often face certain challenges around healthcare, language barriers, access to family doctors, navigating a very complex and often unfamiliar system. So the Welcome Well event is a great way to be able to make healthcare access more available to them.
A large turnout at the third Welcome Well event. It's hosted in partnership with London Drugs. The event gives newcomers time to ask questions and link them to information and health professionals. And obviously our winters are something to get used to for a lot of new Calgarians, and it is a cool night in Calgary. Cold weather on the way as well, along with Danielle with your full forecast. Stay with us.
Well, today was an interesting one. Freezing fog, temperatures plummeting throughout the day. We went from 5 degrees, that was our daytime high in the city, at 1 in the afternoon. And then by the supper hours, we were in the minus double digits. So it was definitely a fast freeze, which is why a lot of melting that had happened throughout the day quickly froze out there on sidewalks and roads, leading to slippery conditions that will continue for much of the overnight hours. In the early morning hours, though, temperatures will start to climb. So we'll talk about that. When you compare our daytime high to the rest of the country, sure, it was warmer in Victoria, Vancouver. They were in the plus double digits, but many other communities certainly noticing a cool down. Minus 10 was the high in Edmonton and Ottawa. All right, let's talk about the wind warning in place. We're going to get strong winds out of the west, more of a Chinook type setup. It's going to boost up our temperatures, but also create the windy conditions. The windiest weather, of course, will be in the far southwest corner, Pincher Creek, Crowsnest Pass area over to Fort Macleod. Gusts up to 100 kilometers per hour, certainly possible tonight and through tomorrow, which is why the wind warning is in place there. It doesn't look like much on radar and satellite because it won't be much for the next 12 hours or so, but things are really going to pick up later this week. We're looking at some snowfall, which could be significant in some communities. Just to give you an idea of what you can expect in the far south, for example, especially Wednesday night and through Friday. About 15 centimeters in Lethbridge and anywhere from 4 to 5 Medicine Hat over to Tabor. Calgary, Okotoks, Airdrie, Cochrane, more like 1 to 3 centimeters, with much of that falling Wednesday night and through Thursday, starting to taper off on Friday. So we do have some snowfall in the forecast, but I think one of the bigger stories is the drastic cool down. And this isn't just a short-term cool down. This is a longer-term cool down that will last about 10 days. So enjoy the warmth, even though it will be windy. We're getting up to a high of +4 for tomorrow. And by tomorrow night, mixed precipitation will start to kick in. We're looking at about 1 centimeter of snow and 1 millimeter of rain possible Wednesday night. Then by Thursday, temperatures will really plummet once again. 1 centimeter, potentially up to 3 possible on Thursday, and then anywhere from 1 to 3 centimeters possible again on Friday. Check out your daytime highs. -13 on Thursday, overnight lows in the -20s. By Friday, a high of -19, still in the -19 or minus teens as we get into the weekend as well for Saturday.
Thanks, Danielle. A rare visitor to Alberta is spending the winter at the Alberta Institute for Wildlife Conservation. A female Costa hummingbird arrived at the clinic on November 13th after spending several days in a northeast Calgary yard. Now, these desert birds are typically found in the American Southwest, usually no further north than Nevada. The clinic staff determined the tiny bird got lost and was unlikely to survive Calgary's winter weather. She needs a special diet, heat, and humidity to regain her strength. If you want to help her, consider donating to the clinic at aiwc.ca. Oh yeah, definitely stay warm, little one. Well, it used to be a holiday staple. Now fewer and fewer people are sending out Christmas cards. Coming up, the local campaign to fill the gap and keep people connected.
I'm not that creative, but I let the kids be the creative ones.
Their flames spread festive cheer at the Alberta Children's Hospital today. They made Christmas ornaments with young patients. Families who spend a lot of time at the hospital say this surprise brings them a lot of joy. Some Stampeders, Roughnecks, and Flames alumni also visited the hospital. Several community groups are reminding Calgarians about the importance of connection during the holidays. In the past 8 years, the Canadian greeting card market has shrunk by more than half as people transition to paperless substitutes. That's had an impact on many older adults. So Caria, a Calgary social impact agency, created Sending Seasons Greetings to Seniors. Cards can be dropped off at its offices until December 19th.
We really identified that some things in the community were disrupting folks accessing Christmas cards, such as the postal strike. And we know that in the Calgary community, seniors are some of the fastest growing populations and also some of the most vulnerable. So we've established this incredible campaign to bring a little bit of holiday joy into the hands and homes of individuals who might be isolated this holiday season.
If you are feeling overwhelmed or isolated, the Calgary Distress Center's crisis line is available to text or call 24/7. The center's Keep Human Connection Alive donation campaign helps ensure every call, text, and chat is met with a real person who can listen, which is really fantastic. And think about when you get a card, whether it's in snail mail or just someone hands it to you, it really can just put a pep in your step. So an easy way to brighten the Seniors' Day this holiday season. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you back here tomorrow night.